Hola clase, hoy vamos a revisar las expresiones impersonales. And as I promised, here's another picture of a weirdo cat for you. You'll have to send me your best Spanish caption for this picture, and I'll see who has the best one, or I'll share your guys' responses, and you guys can pick which one looks good. So we've got the acronym Weirdo Cat. We're going to be looking at the I today, which stands for impersonal expressions. We talked about these last year, so we're going to just do a quick review of the different impersonal expressions that we can use in Spanish. All right, so here's the impersonal expressions that you learned last year in Spanish 2. You actually had these on your vocabulary list, so you studied these and were expected to know what they mean. This year, you also need to know what they mean, and you need to be able to use them in sentences. I think that if you see them in sentences, you won't have a problem at all of knowing what they mean, like es posible que, it's possible that. That one's really easy to figure out, as are a lot of the other ones. However, you do need to be able to write your own sentences and make up your own sentences using these. So you should also be able to go from English to Spanish. And I know that can sometimes be a little bit harder. So I would go through this list, see which ones you know really well. Don't worry about those, and go back and look at the ones that you don't know and practice those. Because like I said, you do need to know what they mean in this chapter. So ones like es peligroso que, it's dangerous, that one might be one that you need to look at. Es triste que, it's sad that. Es una lástima que, it's a pity that. I think you'll know es bueno que and es malo que, it's good and it's bad that. And then the other ones are pretty easy too. Maybe es mejor que, it's better that. Although these are a lot of words that you've learned and used a lot in Spanish. So like I said, just review the ones that you need to review. All right, so the great thing about impersonal expressions is that no matter which impersonal expression you use, you're always going to use the same model for your sentence. So here I have the model at the top. Impersonal expression is what you start with, all right? So you pick the impersonal expression that you want, any one. Es bueno que, es malo que, es necesario que, es una lástima que. And once you have your impersonal expression, you just add the connecting word que, which means that. You add your subject, whoever it is that's going to be, doing the action. Then you add your verb in the subjunctive tense. Then you put any extra details that you want at the end of the sentence. So if we pick the impersonal expression es importante, we're going to start with that. It's important that. We pick our subject. So here we want to say she. And then we take our verb hablar. We do the 3 steps to put it in the subjunctive. We go to the yo form of the present tense, habló. We drop the o. We add the opposite ending. We get hable. And then we can add any extra details that we want at the end of the sentence. We can just attach those on to the end of the sentence. So we end up with es importante que ella hable con su madre. Now, it's really important here to notice that the first verb there, the verb that's in the impersonal expression, it's always going to be in the present tense. So you're going to just say es. The second verb, that verb is what's going to be in the subjunctive, all right? So make sure that you're careful with that because you have to be able to use the present tense and the subjunctive tense in the same sentence. All right, and here I have some quick examples that I want to run through with you, showing impersonal expressions in use. So es una lástima que ellos no puedan tomar español con nosotros. It's a shame that they can't take Spanish with us. Es importante que ustedes estudian para la prueba. It's important that you all study for the quiz. Es necesario que nosotros conservemos más. It's necessary that we conserve more. Es malo que los estudiantes tengan mucha tarea. It's bad that the students have a lot of homework. Es mejor que tú vayas a la iglesia con tu familia. It's best that you go to church with your family. And you'll see that all of these follow the exact same model. We've got the verb ser conjugated at the beginning as es in the present tense. And then we have our verb that we conjugate in the subjunctive tense. And you'll notice that we use the subjunctive tense in all of these sentences because all of these sentences are making statements that are subjective to the person who's making the statement. So all of these sentences are based on someone's own personal perspective, their own feelings, or their own opinion, all right? So saying that it's a shame that they couldn't take Spanish with us, that's just one person's opinion. Other people might not think the same thing. It's important that you all study. Well, it is important that you all study for the quiz, but we don't know if people actually will study for the quiz or not, right? So it's subjective. And then the person making the statement thinks it's important, but other people might not think it's important. It's necessary that we conserve more. It's necessary, but will we? And also maybe other people don't think it's necessary. It's bad that the students have a lot of homework. Maybe other people think it's great that they have a lot of homework. It's better that you go to church with your family. Again, that's a personal opinion of the person making the statement. Someone else might think that that action is worse. All right, so these are just a few examples. Pay attention mostly to the model, but also it is important to understand why these sentences are using the subjunctive.